The new Gohan and Trunks tag unit, they're looking absolutely insane. But we got a lot to go through in this video, including a quick should you summon and the best teams and equipments. During their release, I had some problems, so I wasn't able to upload. Nothing major. At the time, it was absolutely devastating. I almost lost everything I had to make content. But it's all back, so I can continue from now as normal. But enough about my personal affairs, even though they greatly affect you as well. Should you summon? Now, honestly, I don't think the unit is that much worth it. They're great because they cover two elements, and they have the succession mechanic, which is basically revival, but the unit is extremely squishy, especially because of the way the devs value second life mechanics. They can do good damage, but they are going to be star reliant, and they don't do anything super impressive to put them as a priority on any leader slot teams. So they're not something you need necessarily, but boy do they look good, which is why I'd understand if somebody did want to summon on this unit. So overall, I do not advise summoning. I also won't be summoning on this unit, but if you did, this is what this video is for. Now, you do need to understand how this unit works if you do want to build them correctly, so let me give you some key information. It's good to note that they have a second life mechanic, which is their new mechanic called succession. It's basically comeback or revival, but it comes under another name, and what happens is when the unit dies, Trunks will take over and become a Super Saiyan, and he also takes over Gohan's element. You should also note that this unit has two elements pre-succession, so Gohan's blue and Trunks in base is purple, so once the succession activates, Trunks as a Super Saiyan will be blue. Some small core factors: they can nullify explosive greens once. The unit is ranged based, even though the stats are quite neutral either way. Every time the unit does a blast art, they will get damage inflicted increased. And they also snowball, implying that they build up damage inflicted every time they press an art card. And their unique gauge, it gradually fills on the battlefield, and once it fills, there'll be some buffs applied, but the gauge can be emptied at the end of the enemy's combo, which will then reduce the enemy's ki and increase the enemy's sub count, so they'll be stuck on the battlefield. The unit also gets easy cover note on their green card. I think that should be mentioned alongside some damage buffs. That's all for the kit summary. Let's get into the best teams and equipments now. Alright, so the first team we got here is Vegeta Clan. Now, Vegeta Clan, to your surprise, is actually a really good team, and I also want to point out that the teams in this video, a lot of them will have a bunch of Zenkai buffs because this new Gohan and Trunks have two elements, which means they can share Zenkai buffs from the blue element and the purple element, even post succession, which is nice to note. So here I've got Vegeta Clan, and the two units I'm obviously missing would be the Gohan and the Trunks, but alongside that, it would be Ultra Margin Vegeta on the leader slot, another unit who I don't have. Then I've got some examples of a bench, which I will show main benches for the Gohan and Trunks later, but I just have a template for one team that I would run if I had the unit, but I've seen the people run a team like this. If you want to know why this Broly is here, this Broly over here, whoops, the audio's coming out the wrong way. This Broly over here, he gives a lot of strike damage. Now, I do know that the unit is range type, but with the Zenkai buffs, it should not balance out nicely, and you also want to consider the other units on your team, which is why this Broly could be somebody you have high stars to get 50% strike damage, which would be nice, plus the snowballing that the unit already does. Then, of course, we're considering the other guys. But these aren't the only units you could use, so let's go into some other contenders for Vegeta Clan. Vegeta Clan actually clicking, and you might be surprised by some of these guys that I mentioned. So in the blue, the main one, if it's not going to be the Gohan and Trunks, we've got Sword of Hope Trunks, who I already had on the team. Make sure to run him with a Vegeta Clan member. Wow, this is Vegeta Clan, so that's going to be easy, right? Cool. We got Fusing Super Vegito. People like him just because of the Rising Rush. He can get through Ultra Margin Vegeta, which could be a big plus. And Boo Bros could be actually decent, but they are the lesser options out of the three that I just mentioned. Going into the greens aren't too great, I'm not gonna lie. I would just avoid using a green in entirety unless you have like Evo Ken at 14 stars, and even then they'd probably be a big liability. Going into purples, you could use Blue Bros here with the Zenkai. Make sure to have their plat as well. That might work out in your favor, but you gotta be careful about that. And Nap and Vegeta, I wouldn't recommend them, but they do have that revival layer, so they could be nice, but I wouldn't recommend, like I said. Going into the yellow, Ultra Margin Vegeta is going to be your best bet. That should go without saying. But the second best option, I would say, is Fusing Gogeta Blue, and even then, they're not even close of good as an option with against Ultra Margin Vegeta. I've been using them, so I know. And then in the red section, you might be surprised here, but this free-to-play Vegeta, I believe he's free-to-play anyways. he's actually valid. He's actually valid. He is tanky as hell. Build him defensively and he will help you out a lot. I've seen a lot of people start to bring this guy out, especially with the fact that Ultra Major Vegeta and Beast Gohan are currently so relevant. This unit here will help you out a lot, so do not sleep on him. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Vegeta Clan. They're kind of lingering about and they've been getting buffs all of 2024, so let's see how 2025 goes for them. And they got one of the first tags, the first units in the year, so I think it's going to be good for them. But yeah, number one, Vegeta Clan. The second team here, I got Future. What I've decided to do is put Vegito Blue on the leader slot, so he's there at the top. And then the rest of the team is basically just going to be Zenkai buffing or buffing Gohan and Trunks. But sort of hope Trunks is also making an appearance, which is also nice. This Vegeta here, he's going to Zenkai buff Future, which obviously helps out the Gohan and Trunks because I believe Trunks is actually purple. But even post succession, he will still keep that Zenkai buff, which is nice. Over here, we've got the Vegeta, Majin Vegeta. He's Vegeta Clan Zenkai buffing. Then down here, we've got this Gohan. His Z ability is Hybrid Saiyans, so that works out. It's also Sun Family because Gohan's on the unit. And then here, we got the Zenkai buff for Super Saiyan. Gohan is a Super Saiyan, so he's going to eat off that. This is just a template of one team I would run if I had the new Gohan and Trunks, but it isn't the only things you could run, so let's look at the other options available for Future. So I'm going to go into my character list here. There's actually quite a few, but there's also not a lot. I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll see what I mean. Cool, let's go into the blues. So sort of hope Trunks, there are some characters I don't have, but down here, of course, the Gohan and Trunks, they should be your first contender. If you don't want to run just them, if you're going into blue, sort of hope Trunks could be somebody that you consider. And outside of that, people have been putting out the new Perfect Form Cell and Final Form Frieza. It's weird how they write that Perfect Form and Final, bro. The way they wrote that is frying me. They should be Perfect Form Cell and Final Form Frieza. No. Anyways, that's a unit you could use. They're also same element as the Gohan and Trunks, which is also nice. So you could maybe, wouldn't really, but if it's Future, it'll cross over, you know, because Cell's Future. Going into the greens, Vegeta Blue is obviously the guy and the only guy out of all the greens. The greens pretty much suck. Going into the purples, I would for the most part avoid purple, but if you did want to run one, this guy here, the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, would be your best bet. But for the most part, I would avoid purple. Going into yellow, we have the Android 18. Apparently she's a very good support, good layer there that you could run with the new Gohan and Trunks. Obviously if you're summoning for them, you'd probably have this unit high stars because pulling the 1% is supposed to be easier than pulling the new Legends Limited. So that would be obviously your unit there. There's no other yellows I would recommend besides from the Rose. Almost forgot about him, but even then a lot of people have been opting out to use this guy. If you don't have him high stars, you know, and you don't build him defensively, he's more of a liability on the team. But I found his ability to break combos, especially fighting him, because I don't have him, is a lot more than people give him credit for. So Future being a good team with equipments, very solid. And then for the reds, we have my Ultra Vegeta Blue and Corrupted Zamasu. Those are your three options here, Ultra Vegeta Blue. But you'd have to really Zenkai off Ultra Vegeta Blue. That's the only reason I mentioned him. I'm not even going to recommend him. I'm going to take him out of that recommendation. If you want to many times Zenkai buff him, it's going to be more of a skill issue anyways. Corrupted Zamasu, Anti-Saiyan. People have also been running this red Zamasu, which might be to your surprise, but he can be quite tanky and him having endurance, which is super nice. And then depending on how you run the team, again with Zenkai buffs, you can get some usage out of him. But yeah, that's going to be it for Future. That's the second team that I've got that you could run the new Gohan and Trunks on. Alright, so the third team I've got here is Hybrid Saiyans. Hybrid Saiyans should go without saying. They've got one very good unit, if not the best unit in the game, Ultra Beast Gohan. But again, it's a similar format to a lot of the other teams I've already shown. There's the Zenkai buffers down below. We got Gohan, Super Saiyan, we got Ultra Majin Vegeta, and then we got Boo Bros in this case, just to show you another mix-up. Sort of hope Trunks with his endurance, Beast Gohan with his counter, and then we're obviously going to have the succession mechanic with Gohan and Trunks. One thing I do want to point out at this point is that if you go into their details, I'm actually going to put them at max stars, they do not buff Sun Family. So be wary of that. If you're running Sun Family members in a certain way, you might have to leader slot him, so the Gohan and Trunks, so you can get the most out of it. There's only Hybrid Saiyan, Vegeta Clan. So just be wary of that. Future as well. But depending on what you're running, just be wary of that. In this case, I've got a Hybrid Saiyan team, but the whole base is Vegeta Clan, besides from this guy who's going to give a Z ability to the Gohan and Trunks, but it's Sun Family as well. So if you want Sun family buffs outwards and you want it to synergize, you gotta be wary of Gohan and Trunks not having Sun family in their Z ability. Just bear that in mind, but for most cases it should work out fine. Alright, let's look at the other Hybrid Saiyan options. If I go to my filter, turn on Hybrid Saiyans, okay. Blue options, we're obviously going to be running the Gohan and Trunks. Outside of that, you've got this guy here, you know, Soda Hop Trunks I already mentioned. Forgetting his name for a second. Outside of that, the rest are buns pretty much. Green option, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Over here is going to be your best pick if you do want to run a green. Going into the purples, Ultimate Gohan's going to be your best option, outside of the fact that Gohan and Trunks have the purple element as well. Then going into the yellow should be up without saying. Ultra Beast Gohan is going to be your best option. The rest are pretty much buns. And then red, we've got Gold Tanks, but depending on how you wanted to build the team, you could also run Pan for support, and Red Beast if you wanted to go more strike based. But remember that the Gohan and Trunks are more range orientated. Gold Tanks would be a nicer fit to synergize as well. But yeah, this is the Hybrid Saiyan team. It only works like this because the Zenkai buffs are all going towards, you know, Gohan and Trunks. But yeah, number 3, Hybrid Saiyans. And for the final team I'm mentioning in this video, we've got Sun Family. Sun Family is another amazing team, but remember what I said in the last segment, you have to consider that the Z abilities for the Gohan and Trunks do not buff Sun Family. That's one thing they miss out. They only have Future, Hybrid Saiyan, and I believe the other one's Vegeta clan, so be wary of that. On this team, you can see I've got Daima Goku, which is Sun Family, and then we got Ultra Beast Gohan. And you can see the bench, and I've decided to put Red Pan for a HP buff, which would work out. But in that case, you might want to swap around. So what I would do is swap around Daima Goku on the leader slot, since he's not going to get a Z ability from the Gohan and Trunks. If I confirm that, then Daima Goku will get every single Z ability, including the Gohan and Trunks. Put the Gohan and Trunks here. And then the Z abilities will be Hybrid Saiyan towards Beast. And then the bench don't need the Z abilities because you're not bringing them, but they will give a Z ability to Gohan and Trunks. So it's like a one-way transaction, which still makes the team fine. Cool. Let's go into the other options that you could run in this case. So change the filter, make sure it's on Sun Family. In the blue section, besides the Gohan and Trunks, we've got Fusing Super Vegito. You could consider Bardock and Goku with their plat. And Boo Bros I've mentioned before, but again, they're more of a weaker option out of the ones I've mentioned. Going into the greens, Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's going to be up there. And if not him, the God Goku and the Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, these two greens are going to be valid to run. Then going into the purples, we got Ultimate Gohan. He's going to be neat, if not obviously the only other one, Gohan and Trunks. And then we got the yellow options. Ultra Beast should go without saying, but you do have some other possibilities like Triku, Fusing Gogeta Blue, and we also have Ultra UI, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but they are range types, so they might synergize better. And then in the red option, we've got Daima Goku, and how I mentioned in the Hybrid Saiyan section, depending on how you wanted to run the bench, we got Pan and Red Beast, but obviously Daima Goku is going to be a way better option than those two. So that would be it for Sun Family, the last and final, same thing, team that I'm mentioning for this video. Let's get into the other segments. Now we're going to be going into some leader slot options. Some of the teams have already mentioned these characters, but some of them might have not popped up. Even if they have popped up, I still should show you because you might be mixing teams depending on who you have. So you should just leader slot them and then maybe build the team a certain way based on Gohan and Trunks' best teammates that you have and the Z abilities that will be in consideration. So here we have Ultra Margin Vegeta. They would fit because of Vegeta clan, but you might want to put them on a separate team like Future, and then obviously he's not Future, so that would merge. We've got the Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. He's only fitting because of Sun Family, so that would be the main connect, but you might want to put him on the leader slot for another team. We got Ultra Turles. He doesn't connect in any way, shape, or form, so he would be a good leader slot option with his comeback. We have Beast Gohan. He connects mainly because of Sun Family, Hybrid Saiyan, but outside of that, you want to be leader slotting him depending on if you're using Future or something. We've got the Daima Goku. He's going to be useful because of his snipes, but he connects because of Sun Family, so you want to put him on for other reasons. We've got Ultra Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Sun Family, Hybrid Saiyan, but outside of that, for future purposes, you might want to leader slot him. We've got God Goku here. I think he's the last one. Yeah, because of his plat, he's actually pretty nice. Sun Family connect, but again, he could be a good leader slot option depending on what type of team you're running. For example, you could even not leader slot him and reverse it. So make Gohan and Trunks the leader, but then make the rest of the team God Key, which makes this guy valid. But yeah, those are the leader slot options that I've got here. I think these guys are all really good options. Now I'm just going to be going through some bench options for the new Gohan and Trunks. Use accordingly, but most of them are Zenkai buffers. So this guy here is Zenkai buffer, I believe, for Super Saiyan. Zenkai buffer here for Vegeta Clan, Margin Vegeta. Zenkai buffer here for Vegeta Clan as well. Potentially Future, but I believe it's Vegeta Clan. Here we got a Zenkai buffer for Son Family with Pan. Here we got a Zenkai buffer for Son Family with Goten. Here we got a Zenkai buffer for Future with Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta here. Here we got a HP buffer for Hybrid Saiyan, HP buffer for, I believe, Hybrid Saiyan, and no, I think it's just Hybrid Saiyans, and Sagas from the movies. Here we got a Z ability, 50% to strike damage for blue and yellow, 50% strike damage for blue and purple, 50% strike damage, I believe, for purple and red. And that would be pretty much it for the whole bench. Overall, they're all good Z abilities that will work for the Gohan and Trunks. Alright, so we're going to be moving on to equipment. This equipment here is the first one I recommend. We got Special Move and Health Restoration. That's really nice for the first slot. This equipment's called Bestowed Hope, by the way, so you might want to run it. The middle slot there, Strike Attack and Blast Attack. Whichever one, you don't get both. And in this case, for Gohan and Trunks, they're blast orientated, so you might want to go the blast way. And then HP on the last slot, which is really nice. You can get the memory from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush Shot, but you're going to need the unawakened version to awaken it to that. You can see it's not as good by any means, but you can get this from the Equipment Medal Exchange Shop. This one here is good. It's just balanced all around. You get double defenses of the base Strike and Blast. You get Strike Attack 25%, but more importantly, Blast Attack because of Gohan and Trunks being range type. Not If I Stop You. You can get this from the Ultimate Equipment Collection from normal Future. This one's here really nice because they don't have an ultimate art. Here we have Awaken, Behold My Perfect Divinity, base strike defense on the first slot, base blast attack, which is what you want because they're range type, health restoration, which is nice, strike attack as well in addition, and special move. You can get this memory from the Ultra Space Time Rush Exchange Shop, but you're going to need the Unawakened to awaken this one, which is right here. You can see it's nowhere near good, and you can get it using equipment medals. This one here is the pure for Future. You're running 3 Future units. You're going to want to run this one here. You see you get base strike defense on the first slot. You get blast attack and strike attack in the second and the third slot, but you also get pure of each kind, 13.5, which is more than usual when you get these equipments, which shows that they're really trying to make Future something. Try not to do anything too crazy. Damn. Get it from the dual coin exchange shop. This one here is new and a lot of people have been gassing it up, so it's very much worth it, but it's difficult to get. You might want to wait until the Bonanza. The first slot, base strike defense 20%, blast attack on the middle slot, and blast defense, which is really nice. Then you can get more blast attack on the third slot. Then you get pure when Son Family or Vegeta Clan is a battle member, which is them themselves, 10% of it. So that's really nice for them. Future range type, you can see it's tailored for them. You can get this from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush Shop, which is nice, the memory, but you're going to need the unawakened version, which is right here, and you can see it's nowhere near as good. And you can get that from the Equipment Medal Exchange Shop. This equipment here is a must run if you're using them on Hybrid Saiyans. The Hybrid Pure is easily one of the best Pures in the game. 3 Hybrid Saiyans, you can get up to 24% of each strike and blast pure offenses, which is crazy, and you get strike defense on the first slot. You're going to need the memory from the Zenkai Ultra Space Time Rush Shop, but you need the unawakened version to awaken it. I just need to use my eyes here. Here's the unawakened version. You can see it's absolutely trash. You can get from these 3 places: Eliminate the Earthlings, Equipment Collection, and Nappa the Cruel, alongside Equipment Medals. I thought it was only these 3, but Equipment Medals as well is another place you can get. This one here, if you want to make them more defensive, is actually really, really good. It's one of the newer ones. You can see it's called GOHAN. I didn't really want to shout, sorry, I probably butchered that. But double defense on the first slot, and you can get up to 35% base blast defense, which is insane. And then you can get up to 20% to own blast defense if there are 2 or more future battle members, which is insane. And then HP on the third slot, which is just wow. It might seem like, oh, you don't need this, but depending on how you want to build them, you can see Son Family, Vegeta Clan, this can actually come in handy. You can get it from Co-op and the dual coin exchange shop. Very good equipment here, I'm not gonna lie. Another equipment here, if you want to give them more defenses, strike or blast, depending on which one you want on the first slot. Pure strike defenses, pure blast defenses. Conditions are based on having a Saiyan and a Hybrid Saiyan, so they're Hybrid Saiyans, but you also will need a Saiyan, and if you can get that, that will make it a lot better. And of course, how you can get this, the dual coin exchange shop. And the last one for the video, we've got Vegeta Clan Pure here. Special move on the first lot, which is good because they don't have an ultimate. Strike defense, blast defense, and pure offenses of both kind, 12% if you're running Vegeta Clan team. And how you can get this is from the dual coin exchange shop. Almost forgot about the Son family equip as well. Same thing as the Vegeta Clan one, basically. Strike and blast defense depending on which one you roll, and then you can get pure strike and blast attack for Son family members. Pretty similar all the time. Dual coin exchange shop to get this one here. Unleash your true power. But yeah, man, that's going to be it for the video. Hopefully this video was helpful. Sorry I got this video out late. Next time, the next Legends Limited Ultra, whatever it is, we will be on the ball faster, but I just literally couldn't do anything, so don't blame me, man. I'm doing my best. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button. We're on this grind to 200,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys for watching the video, man. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one, man.